Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Cam Ward and today I'm going to talk about how my depreciating RED camera is keeping me up at night. To be honest, once you've got the Instagram picture of you holding it, sell it, really. It's not true actually, it's a great camera. I do love this camera, it says. Basically, I wanted to have a very open, just general conversation just about my RED camera and how I feel about owning it in the current climate of cameras and new tech coming out. But yeah, grab yourself a cup of tea and we'll just crack on. We'll have a chat. I want to have a very open, just truthful conversation in case you're looking into buying a RED camera. All the footage you see in this video will be footage that I've shot on my RED camera. I've got the Scarlet-w. So the reason I'm making this video is because the camera landscape is changing so much at the moment, and especially because RED used to be ahead of the game all the time. It was kind of like their USP. And in many ways, you're still ahead of the game if you're shooting on the 8K Monstro. But with cameras like the Canon EOS R5, we're seeing 8K become the norm. And I wouldn't say consumer, but prosumer cameras are definitely catching up with the high-end cinema market. So for people who have forked out tons of money on RED cameras, because they are very expensive, I kind of get this feeling that maybe they're becoming a bit obsolete, or at the very least, they're depreciating value much quicker than they probably used to. At the same time, there's still definitely a market for a RED cinema camera. I own two cameras primarily. My first is the RED Scarlet-w and my secondary is a Sony a7S Mark II. Now, the a7S Mark II is becoming very outdated and I'm waiting for something to replace that. But it still has its place for certain jobs. Scarlet-w is mainly used for commercial and music video work. It's either or generally with the camera, and I'm waiting for a camera which can combine the two. And I think we're definitely getting there with technology. The thing with RED is you spend a lot of money on the camera, and whilst it's great that it's such a small camera package, and I love the modularity of this thing because I travel a lot, all the accessories are so damn expensive, which I know that's what you're getting into when you buy a RED, you know that if you're watching these videos. But like the Mini-Mag costs the same price as a Blackmagic Pocket cinema camera, and I'm like, well, is this worth the same value as that? And obviously it's not. It's hard to upgrade in the system because it's like, do I keep upgrading and investing in this system, or do I just sell it and get rid of it and move on to something else? So the initial cost of the Scarlet-w for me was about £22,000 in the UK. But what I'll say is the RED's paid itself off. It still has its brand value. From my experience, it's quite easy to sell a RED to clients in terms of like a package. Some clients do get excited about RED, but if they don't get excited about RED, they don't get excited about other camera types. And as great as the C500s are, C300s, people aren't hiring you for a job because you've got a Canon camera or a Sony FS7. It's not really, don't quite have the same brand. There's just something about shooting on RED that I really enjoy. I still like the color science out of it. The high frame rate modes are great, and the portability of the camera itself is just ace. My testing, I've not had a codec playback as well in Premiere Pro, at least, than the RED Code RAW files. However, over the past year or so, I've been looking at my Scarlet-w thinking, is it time for you to go? I'm like, should I sell you now and upgrade to something else? For me, the next upgrade would be an Alexa, but I don't think I'm there yet. I think it'd be a bit overkill for what I'm doing right now. However, the camera that's probably exciting me the most right now is the RED Komodo. So when I saw the Komodo, I was looking into the Blackmagic Pocket 6K, and I just that camera seemed like it had too many quirks. I feel like I've been very spoiled by the Sony a7S. It's just a very versatile camera. There's a lot you can do with it. You don't need any extra stuff with it. But seeing the Komodo, I was like, this looks like a little cinema camera, and I love that. I love the look of it. The size of it looks perfect, and I was like, right, so this could be a great little camera to replace the a7S Mark II, and I can match it with the RED, so it looks perfect right now. But we're still waiting for more details on that camera, so we'll have to see. So one of the big things about the Komodo that has got me really excited is the RF mount. I shoot on a lot of Canon lenses. I think they're great all-round lenses. My favorite lens probably of all time is the 2470 2.8. That's because it's one of the lenses that I started with, and I shot so many projects on that lens because it's just so versatile. It covers all situations. And the other things as well is you've got the built-in ND adapter for the RF mount, and I just think it's a very exciting mount. Like, there's a lot you can do with it. You can adapt almost any lenses to it. That's why the Komodo is really exciting. And also the new Canon cameras, the Canon EOS R5. These two cameras I think are just so exciting. I can't wait to see what comes of them. So bringing it back to the depreciation value of the RED is it's a very expensive camera, and I've definitely made my money back from the projects that I've worked with it on. because clients obviously know the RED and great camera. But if the Komodo shoots high frame rate, like up to about 100 frames per second in 4K, I really hope it does, it will kind of make the scarlet-w redundant. I'm like, that's great. I mean, I can get a much smaller cinema camera and it'll do everything I need it to do. I need to also get rid of the scarlet-w quick at that point, because there's not really that much point in having it, depending on what you can do with the Komodo, that is. So I think it's been a really tricky year, like in terms of I've been struggling figuring out what to do with the camera. Do I keep it? Do I sell it? Do I move on? My ideal situation is to have a camera like the Komodo, which is a small little cinema camera. I could travel with it easily. If we're doing big commercial shoots, renting the Alexa. But on the whole, if you're thinking about getting a RED camera right now, if you can get one for cheap, you know, then maybe do it. But for me, I'd probably just hang tight, because there's so many exciting new cameras coming out. The price of everything's just going to drop soon. But to summarize, how do I feel as a RED owner in the current climate? Don't know. For me, the projects I've got coming up definitely require a RED camera. I need my own cinema camera, because we can't be renting cameras out for 10 days at a time. I'd rather spend the money elsewhere on lenses and, you know, getting more crew in and just making the process easier. It's still a RED camera, and it's something I always wanted when I was 16 making films with my friends. I'm really hoping RED smash it out of the ballpark with the Komodo. The R3D codec is an excellent codec. Having a little portable cinema camera would be bloody ace. And more so, it just comes down to personal preference. What color science do you prefer? And what lenses do you like? You know, try out more lenses. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, it's not really, I don't know if I've gone into too much detail there or not, if I've just waffled at you for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. If you want to see more of my work and stuff shot on the RED, check out my channel. Any questions, like I said, just drop me a comment, hit me up on Instagram. And yeah, that's it.